There is a difference between dreams and goals. Dreams are visions. Dreams give power, but goals give focus. Dreams give power, but goals give focus. I had somebody come to me and say, I want to be an entrepreneur. That's my goal. I said, no, ma'am, that's not a goal. That's a dream. It's powerful. It's a dream, but it's not a goal. They got upset with me. Said, how can you tell me what my goal is? I said, a goal is not subjective. They said, well, a goal is what I think it is. No, it's not. You can't look at a dog and say, I think it's a cat. No, a dog is a dog, a cat is a cat. It's not up for discussion. Now, what your vision might be is subjective, perhaps. But the definition of a vision is objective, and the definition of a goal is objective. And so part of what I try to help people to do, and in my workshops, I'm going to be honest, I give it to them with the bark off. I don't have time to play around because people are in real serious situations. Some of the people that do my workshops are people who've been formerly incarcerated. Some of them are people who have never been incarcerated, but they're stuck. Some are business professionals and they have all these degrees, all these licenses, all these, letters behind their name, but they don't know how to get off the ground. Some people are fresh budding entrepreneurs. I have all types of people that come to my workshops, and I am very adamant about saying we've got to get to the heart of some things. So people don't like to hear about themselves, and that's why they're stuck. So I'm going to tell you there is a difference between a goal and a dream. So let's start with a dream. A dream is a vision. We already said that. Write that down. Dreams give power. A vision. Do I see clearly what I want out of life? Part of the reason that people don't set clear goals is because they don't have a clear vision. So let's start with that. They don't even know what they want out of life. So they say they want to be an entrepreneur. I mean, many people come to me and say that. I want to write a book. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to have $1 million. Stand in line. So I asked them, well, what kind of business do you want? I don't know. I mean, helping people. Okay, well, that could be a lot of things. Where do you want your business to be? I don't know. Somewhere in New York. Well, what barrel? What part of the barrel? I don't know. And they get defensive and angry because they feel like I am questioning their goal or their dream, but I'm not questioning it. I'm asking them about it. If you have see, there's a difference between an idea and a vision. An idea is just some vague thought. A vision is a clear picture. Write that down. A vision is a picture of what you want. Do you know what you really want? I mean, do you? Do you really know what you really want? So that's the first thing I need you to know. A vision is a picture. It's not just saying that I want, for instance, if I tell you my father's a carpenter. And when he talks about he has a vision for his job, a vision for a house, the vision can't just be, I just want to build a house. No, he's very specific. The house is going to be, have a certain amount of rooms. It's going to have a certain amount of bathrooms. When you go into the bathroom, it's going to have a certain tile. It's going to have a certain height for the ceiling. There's going to be a certain backsplash. There's going to be the toilet is here and the bathtub is here. And maybe there's a jacuzzi. It's specific. It's clear. You know the color of the walls. You know the color of the paint on the outside. You know the framework. You know the molding. You know where you want to put the lights. That's a vision. Many of us don't have a vision for where we want our lives to go. We don't have a vision for our business. We say we want to be an entrepreneur, which is nice, but we don't have a vision. We're not clear about what we really want to do. And can I say this with respect? Helping people is not a goal. That is a vague way that everything is helping people when you get to your purpose. One person might help someone by singing. Another person might be by constructing something for them. Someone else may be to teach them. We are all called to help people, but how we help people is going to manifest differently. So don't say you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to help people and you think you've said something specific because you really haven't. So a goal is specific. A vision is very clear. It's a very clear picture of what you want. So I'm going to write this down with you so we go from dreams to goals. So I'm writing this down with you. I love writing things down. Sometimes you don't remember what you said, or what you read, but you remember what you wrote. That's why I always tell people in the workshop. That's the first thing I do. Take notes. Take notes. All right. So now we're going from dreams to goals. Once I have a clear dream, a clear picture, now I am able to go from there and give a clear goal. A goal. Let me just get right to it. SMART. S-M-A-R-T. Write this down. S-M-A-R-T. I didn't come up with this. I've learned everything I'm teaching you in some way. I've regurgitated. I've read hundreds, perhaps thousands of books over my lifetime. I've been mentored by the best. I've been trained by the best. So I don't want you to think that what I'm coming up with and teaching you is novel. I am teaching you what I have learned, and I'm synthesizing it in a different way. So SMART goals. SMART. S, specific. M, measurable. A, action-oriented. R, real-time. T, time measurable. Let's go over these again. SMART, specific, measurable, action-oriented, real-time, time measurable. Specific, we've already covered that. Do you have a specific goal? When I do my workshop, I tell people to stop saying they want a better paying job. I had one lady who was in my workshop. She said she wanted a better paying job. I told her that was a dream, not a goal. She got angry at me. I think a cuss word or two was said in my direction, so I left it alone. A month later, she came back to me. She told me that she was angry. Again, why are you angry? She said that she got a different job. Well, hey, you wanted a different job. Why are you angry? Come to find out, she got a different job, making 25 cents more an hour. She got her better paying job. But she wasn't satisfied because she said, Darrell, that's not really what I wanted. I wanted much more than that. But you were not specific. That's the difference between a goal and a vision. That's what I was trying to tell you. And she said, I get it. Because you said you wanted a better paying job. And so you got a better paying job for a quarter more an hour. And so it was a better paying job. But you were not specific as to what you wanted. Now, let me go forward and then I'll come back a bit. We're going from from dreams to goals to strategies. I hope I'm not going too far ahead. Dreams to goals to strategies. The dream is the vision, gives power. Goal is the focus. It gives us focus. It's specific. It's measurable. It's action-oriented. It's real-time. It is time measurable. And then the strategy is the blueprint for how we're going to get it. Many of you are trying to go from dream to strategy. That's the problem. You're trying to create a strategy off of a dream, but you've never created a goal. It's not specific. It's not specific. We haven't even gotten to M-A-R-T. It's not even specific. When you have, I told you, if you would have told me you wanted to make 10,000 more a year, then we could have created a strategy to get you there. But because you were vague in your description of what you wanted, which was you wanted a better paying job, and we can't really, hey, you got a better paying job. So specific, be specific. In my workshop, this is what I tell people. We do an entire 2 hours just on setting one goal. Now, you might say, how can you spend that much time on one goal? I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to give it to you in 2 minutes. We spend 2 hours because I really bring out for them the difference between, thank you for putting that too, Lynette, thank you. Somebody, Periscope, writing out for me, specific, measurable, action-oriented. I hope you're writing this down. Real time, time measurable. This is what I do. Everybody starts the 2 hours with, I want a better paying job. Some are more specific. I want to be a counselor. I want to, help the community. But this is what it takes us 2 hours to get from there to by the end of the 2 hours. This is what I have people doing for their employment goal. The employment goal is, I want to do blank. And I have them fill in the role that they want at blank. And I have them write down the company that they want to work for or the field they want to work in. And then I have them write down how many. So for instance, a goal would be, I want to be a counselor in the mental health field in Manhattan or the Upper East Side or the Upper West Side in New York. I want them to be specific about a location. 4 or 5 days a week, I have them say how many hours a day they want to work, how many days a week that this is specific. And then I have them say, yes, I do, how much money they want to make specifically. It takes us 2 hours because people start with, well, I want to do about 40,000. And I always ask, have you ever seen a check with the word about on it? No, it's a specific amount. So we go from this sort of vague, nebulous, wording to something specific. When you have a goal, it should be that specific. Where do you want to do it? Where do you want to do it? How much do you, I'm talking just employment. How much do you want to be making? Where do you want to be working? What company or field do you want to be in? Location. Don't just tell me a city. The city's big. New York has 10 million people. It's 5 boroughs. Give me specific as possible, because when I get as specific as possible, now I can create a strategy based on that. And it takes us 2 hours to get there. Sometimes it takes us longer for some people. But we get there. So specific. The second thing is measurable. A goal should be measurable. Some of your goals, again, not goals because they're not measurable. To say that you want to be successful. If I have 10 people in my workshop and I ask you to tell me what success is, all 10 are going to say something different. To say you want to make good money, 10 people are going to have a different idea of what good money is. And trust me, good money in California or in North Carolina ain't good money perhaps in New York. So what is good money? You have to be measurable. Measurable meaning that it's quantifiable. Measurable that's another word for it. Quantifiable. That there is no ambiguity in what it is that you're saying. So the difference between good money and $70,000 a year is that one is up for discussion. What does good money mean? But we all know what 70,000 is. The difference between saying I want to have a bigger following on Facebook and saying I want 10,000 people following me is that what does bigger mean? But we know what 10,000 is. Records, whatever we're talking about, record sales or sports or things that people are doing, it has to be quantifiable. The next thing is action oriented. A lot of your goals are not action oriented. They're not. Let's keep it real. I want to help people. What does that even mean? I want to be more successful. I want to give back to the community. I want to help somebody else be better than I was. These are not goals. These are nice aspirations. They sound good and they're powerful because they can fuel our goals, but they themselves are not goals. They have to be goals, should be action oriented. A good goal is a goal that you can actually work towards. I can't help you with, I want you to help somebody. I don't know what that means. But if you tell me that you want to be a counselor in the mental health field, the first thing I can say is, let's get your licensure so that way you can be a counselor. That I can help you with. But I can't help you with this sort of broad, I just want to pull other people up from where I came from. What does that even mean? So specific, measurable, action-oriented, real time. Real time means, you know what real time means. We're in real time right now. We're live. Goals should be in real time. They should be something that you are working toward now. It should be something that we can actually work toward now. What's the old saying? How do you eat an elephant? One chunk at a time. One bite at a time. I think Confucius said it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with what? A single step. Some of your goals, the problem is when you have a real goal that is specific, measurable, action-oriented, real time, time measurable, you're able to split it into smaller goals so you can get there. Real time. A real goal is not something that I work for 5 years down the line. I'm working now for something I can achieve now so that way 5 years down the line, it can be something bigger. If you tell me that a goal is something you have to wait to start on, then it's not a goal. It's a dream. Put that in. It may not even be a dream. It may just be a wish, a desire, a whim. It might be the pizza you ate last night talking, but it is not a goal. All right, let's go to real time. Time measurable. That just means deadline. Goals have deadlines. I forgot when I talked about what I do through my workshop for the 2 hours, this part of the workshop, goal setting. The goal setting part of the workshop, when I have them go through how much you want to make, where you want to do it, how many hours you want to be working, what company you want to be working for, what field you want to be in, what does it need to look like, what role are you doing specifically. The last thing that I add is by what date. It has to have a deadline. This is the thing. If your goals don't have a deadline, they're probably not goals. Why don't we like deadline? I'm going to tell you something. Goals scare people. Not necessarily dreams, but goals scare people. Because when you get to the deadline part, that people don't like that, because what happens is it now holds them accountable. I've heard people say, well, I can't really put a deadline on it because I don't know what resources I'm going to need. I don't believe in doing that. I believe in starting with the end in mind. Right now, set a deadline for what you want. and then work backwards, reverse engineer to get there. But if you have this sort of idea of, well, I'll start the business when all my ducks come in a row, I'm going to tell you now from life experience, your ducks are never going to get in a row. That's how it works. It's never going to get in a row. You've got to be in the position and in the place where you are comfortable saying, I am going to set this and I'm going to make it happen. Come hell or high waters, I'm pushing toward it. Last thing, even though this isn't a part of SMART, it is written, right? Goals should be written. I read an article that said, are goals that are not written really goals? The answer was, after they went through all this, was that really, no, they're not goals. They're not goals. If they're not written. Goals should be written. True story. 1973, class of Harvard College, they asked how many people had goals. What do you think? 100% of the people said they had goals. All 100 raised their hand. The person at the lectern said, how many of you have your goals written? 5% raised their hand. 5%. Same class, 20 years later, in the 20-year reunion. True story. 1993, they came back to this same class. They were having a reunion, and they were doing a survey of them, and they had already been following their life. This is what they found. 20 years later, the 5% that raised their hand for written goals had made more collectively than the other 95% put together. True story about graduating class at Harvard. So it is true that when you write goals, it does something powerful. And I'm going to take you a step further. When I write my goals, I put it somewhere that I can see every day. I put it somewhere on the mirror. I have things written on my mirror. I have Post-its written to myself. Because what that does is it makes you accountable to say, what have I done this week, today, this month even, to get closer to my goal? Now we're not just talking about it, but when we begin to write it, also what happens is you might think you're clear on something until you write it down. Then you write it and you say, dang, wow, I really wasn't clear. I thought try going into a bank with a business plan that's in your head. No, they want something written. And I want you to know something. People say, well, it's in my head. Let me say this respectfully. A goal that is in your head is going to stay in your head. If you want it to manifest, begin to manifest in the physical world. The first way that you can do it is writing it. Because now what you're doing is taking it from the unseen realm, which is here. I can't see what's here. And bringing it into the seen realm, which is right there on paper. Now we go from dreams to goals. Strategies. I don't know where that voice came from. Dreams to goals to strategies. Some of you, the problem is that you're trying to go from here to here. You're not clear about here. You cannot create a strategy from a dream. You can only create a strategy from a goal. You can only create a strategy from a goal. There is a progression. The Bible talks about order my steps in your word. Order. There is an order to things. There is an order to things in the universe. There's an order. There is an order to go from here to manifestation. It's got to go from a dream to a goal to a strategy. Some of you, the problem is you're trying to skip the order. And so you wonder why you're still stuck. And it's because you are not in order. Go from dreams to goals. Write them down. Some of you have been watching me this whole time. You haven't written one thing down. That's a problem. Write it down. SMART. Specific. I'm going to say it one more time. Specific, measurable, action-oriented, real time measurable. And under that, it's written. So I have taken what's here and in the core of my soul, and I am writing it down. It is now a goal. And now from there, now that I know, see, this is what people say, that's an unrealistic goal. People told me it was unrealistic for me to say I was going to go to Harvard Law School. Why? They say, you don't even know a lawyer. How are you going to go to Harvard Law School? When I told people I was going to go to college, and I was living in Baltimore City, or then when I was in Virginia living in that trailer park, they said, well, you don't even... How is somebody going to pay for you to go to college? But I knew clearly what I wanted, and I had it written down. And so when you have When you know the what, the how will come. Some of you don't know the what. You haven't written down the what. That's why the how has not come. Write things down, be clear on what you want, and things have a way of shifting, so now we can create a strategy. There is no such thing as an unrealistic goal. What is unrealistic is when you do not have the clear strategy and the clear work ethic to get to it. That's unrealistic. You say you want to be a millionaire, you don't have a bank account. You want to be this great entrepreneur, and you're doing nothing toward it. That's unrealistic. That's unrealistic. So what I am showing you how to do, because there's a lot of things I've done in my life that people say is unrealistic, and they were telling me that the whole time, and yeah, time has not been kind to their predictions. Partly because I understand the order. We have gone from dreams, we have gone to goals, and now we're about to go to strategy. The strategy is the blueprint. I can only create an effective strategy from the goal. So let me go back. I was 21 years old. Actually, I was 20. I graduated from Morehouse College's valedictorian at 21 years old. So I was 17 when I got accepted. This is going to help somebody. I want to share this with somebody. I knew that I wanted to go to law school. I didn't know Harvard, but I knew I wanted to go to law school really from the time I was 13. I knew I wanted to go to law school more than I wanted to go to college. So when I got to college, immediately the goal was to go to, and I didn't even know of course I didn't know what I know now. I had written down, I am going to go to law school directly after college. I didn't know what law school I wanted to go to. I mean, Harvard sounded nice, but even then in my mind, it's like, who goes there? So I didn't have that written down. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But at 17, 18, when I started my freshman year, I began working toward going to law school. People told me I was crazy. You're a freshman in college. You need to first focus on just passing your freshman year. I began working on the LSAT, which is the law school admissions test, freshman year. I need somebody to hear this. The heights of great men had not been achieved by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, toiled upwardly through the night. That's a quote. I didn't come up with that myself. The heights of great men have not been achieved by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, toiled upwardly through the night. I began working on the LSAT. So you know about the SATs, I'm sure, if you've been to college, because that's the college admissions test. I began my freshman year. People thought I was crazy. Starting to work on the LSAT, which is the test for law school admissions. Why? Because I had a clear goal and I had to have a strategy. It would have been unrealistic for me to say I want to go to law school and, directly following college if I wasn't working toward it. For me, it wasn't unrealistic because I was working towards it. I didn't start working toward it my senior year. I didn't start working toward it my junior year. I need somebody to say this. I didn't start working toward it my sophomore year. I took my first LSAT class the second semester of my freshman year. It was a 3-year process before I was accepted into Harvard Law School. My problem with so many people is they want this microwave success. My God.